going in, or you're eating your head, or you're going in, just make sure you eat that head and enter. So I see a lot of young people today. They want to do what we are doing. It's a big industry, and I've seen a lot of people who have come through Oluspagel Media who also use that as a stepping stone to get into the industry. I've encountered a lot of young people along the line, and at the end of the day, some people don't even have direction to what they want to do. This work it's a lot of beauty. It has a lot of beauty, attraction. It attracts people. But the main work is always behind the scene. The thinking process, creative process, documentation, verification. You're going through plagiarism, copy and paste. You're thinking of how to be different, thinking of what to do to impact the industry, thinking of a whole lot of things as an individual, as a company, as a business. Like you're doing, there's a whole lot of work behind the scene. So when people rush into it, they come into it because they see that you are popular, or you are being known, or you're being interviewed, or you're in the cover page, or you're this, you're that. They don't know the work behind the scene before you get to. So I'll just say this to any young person watching. You need to really define your own path. Like, what do you want to do that will be different? We have a lot of creators out there, a lot of young people out there who are also changing their world the way they can. And because it's glamorous does not mean that it is interesting. It's sometimes bitter. I cry to sleep sometimes. I mean, what was I not crying to you yesterday? Was I not crying?
Yes, yes. Oh God, and nobody would know that really. They just see it on the graph. Nobody posts that.
I was just ranting yesterday when we were on the call talking about the conference. I was just like, oh my God, this is what is going on. And we deal with a lot of crisis management. See, we are not professionals to that point, but when we see issues, when we have issues, when we face them, we ensure that we address it as soon as possible. So crisis management is also part of the work. As you are learning on the go, as you are learning from observation or from experiences or from people's stories, crisis management is like your bread, like you're eating it also too. So you're not running away from responsibilities, you're not running away from the actions you're meant to take. Because a lot of people don't know how to face issues or handle issues. Even yesterday I still had to reach out to a colleague of mine about the issue and all. But I was able to get counsel from peers. So your peers are also there for you, regardless of the fact that you're looking for mentors, you're looking for people that are higher than you. Remember that your peers, people that you are rolling on the same level too, are also experienced. So you need to be able to reach out to some of your peers that you can trust, that you see they can add value to you. So because in all of these things, it's a selection process that takes time.
Yeah.
You also need to have a discerning spirit. I say this a lot. It's not easy doing the job that we are doing. You need to just know what is right at the right time. You need to know what is wrong even at the right time, because at the end of the day you need to now sieve everything and then understand the step that you need to take at the right time. So a discerning spirit is not a skill, it's a gift you need to crave for depending on your spirituality. I really do not know who you worship or what you worship, but depending on what your spirituality is, a discerning spirit is very important. Knowing when to think, knowing when to ask, knowing when to do things, knowing when to act, because
Absolutely.
it's all part of it. So I mean, the media business it's broader than what anybody would think. It's a big deal. Yes, it is.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I'll just follow up on that by asking. So we've spoken to young people now, but the conference is also for business leaders. We're talking about leaders of national and national organizations. I mean, some of our speakers include Paul Owanibe of Landmark Africa.
Landmark.
For those of us who followed the story last year, we have people like Suraya, who is the general partner for Sabah Capital. We have Israel Opayemi, is the CEO of Chain Reaction, one of the leading PR agencies
In
in the
Nigeria.
country.
Yeah.
This is also a conversation, a conference for business leaders. And one of the things I'm really keen to listen, particularly for those who are, sometimes when we have conferences like this, we bring PR people into the room and we just talk to ourselves and we go home and we think, we have spoken, oh yeah, we'll just go back to status quo. One of the things that the Experiencing PR conference confronts is that this is not an industry conversation, it's a business conversation. And so I'd like us to shift our attention to the business side of the work that we do. I was doing some reading, I think it was earlier this year, and I found that the public relations industry in Europe by 2029 will be worth $24 billion in Europe. In the US, it's going to be about 29 billion in another 4 years. First of all, it tells you that some people are already tracking, right, in terms of the size of the industry. It also tells you that in our own part of the world, there needs to be some more effort into education first, because the industry is not just going to pull money from thin air, right? Industry also does not necessarily serve itself. It is designed to serve other sectors of the economy, right? And that's why it can grow to that size. So, from your perspective, in terms of media investment, businesses who are thinking, oh, I don't need PR, all these PR consultants, all these media people. Media buying is so expensive. What are we going to buy? I have my own LinkedIn account, I have my own Twitter account. You can decide to be like Elon Musk and fire all your marketing team because I can post by myself. Guess what? The guy bought, just to mention as a joke, Elon Musk bought an entire platform just so that he can run marketing in quotes by himself. Any founder, any business leader who is thinking, I don't need marketing, there's AI now. Please be ready to buy an entire platform so that you can run it yourself. What do you think about investment in media for business leaders thinking, is this worth my while? And I'm in an emerging economy.
All right. So this question is a very important question that needs more education, understanding, and knowledge to a lot of people. So it's more like educating people. For a lot of people, they don't see PR as an investment. They see it as wasting money or wasting funds. And when it comes to PR, there's business PR and there's personal PR or personal branding. We tend to see a lot of people who also invest in their personal branding, from photo shoots to write-ups to LinkedIn accounts to rebranding a bio on Twitter, on Instagram, Facebook. Like you're looking all bougie and clean and new, like a new baby. Okay, we get you. And then you have like a storyline to sell to your audience so that they can begin to understand your industry or what you're talking about and how you're also out there to help people. PR is an, like I'll say again, it's an investment. So a lot of people do not understand that it is something you need to create funds for or put or budget. Have a budget is what I would say. Is what we understand in Lagos. Have a budget. So if a client comes, if a client comes and says, "Oh, we want to do this, we want to do that. This is the brief," and then the next thing is, "Oh, what's your budget?" and the client goes below par. How would you explain to online, TV, newspaper that your client's budget is maybe I'll be below par is what I would say. Yeah, below par, you understand? And they would also have to show you that okay, if your client is coming on this platform, this is the value your client is getting. And one thing about media PR is the ROI is not always immediately, it's always like after. It's an investment. If you cannot sustain it for 3 months, for 6 months, you can't rush a good PR plan in 4 weeks. It's not visible. Honestly, anyone who would give you that, maybe you've been in even if you've been in industry and you want to come back, you still have to go through that rigorous process. Why? You cannot rush things up. You cannot force a child to eat. You cannot force a horse to drink at the stream. So you cannot force your audience to swallow information about you in 1 month. It is not possible. So breaking it down into phases, having a clean budget that can help to make the work easier would definitely help you, the client, and also help the PR agency know what they are doing. And the results at the end of the period, maybe it's a 3 month phase or a 6 month phase, would also show, because at the end of the day, the ROI is not an immediate thing. It's something that would build over time. So that is why I encounter a lot of PR agencies who would say they only do consultation. They don't want to get involved in the project because if they do consultation, they are getting their money immediately. because when you do a PR plan, you submit to the client goes back and forth. The client is still on it for a month, you're still on it for 6 weeks. You're not going forward. You've wasted my time for 6 weeks. And that
Yes.
time is not, I can't get that time anymore. I would have used that for something else. If it's a fiscal or an online course for myself, or maybe got to the client at that time, I would have done something with that 6 weeks. So we are buying time in the entire process, and understanding that a budget needs to be created for a very clean and a smooth PR plan is what works for both parties. Because I've had encounters of meeting some media houses, and they're like, "Oh, this is the budget. This is the amount to pay." And we are negotiating. You are negotiating. We are. This is just
Like
one. You are only negotiating with one. You've not even gone through your list. How
yeah,
long more would you try to negotiate? And then the next thing, the client just backs out, saying, "Oh, I'm not interested anymore." Time wasted, effort
yeah,
wasted. And then you can't go back to the media house to say, "Oh, I'm so sorry, my clients cannot come on your platform anymore," because so it's a whole lot. I believe the education in the entire process would help both businesses and personal brands to understand that money invested in PR would work. Like, you see the ROI in the next 6 months, 1 year. If you invest good money
absolutely,
in it, it will begin to work for you. That is why it
yeah,
is owned PR, bought PR and share like sorry, owned media, bought media, earned media. You need to invest before you now begin to earn it. Now,
absolutely,
I'll give an example now. For instance, if I'll give an example of a popular activist in Nigeria that we all know. You know, we've known this person from TikTok. Doing everything that he has, but today he's always in the news for on all platforms. Anything is happening. That's free PR. This is something that one would not even get anywhere, maybe like anywhere. So you have to do something to get to the point where at the end of the day, the work, you will reap the benefit of that work, and you begin to
absolutely.
earn it. You earn. That's what it's called, like earned media. But most people will just want to come into the system, pew
Just to
pew pew.
start earning.
Yeah, you want to start earning. It doesn't work like
Exactly.
that, because even the way media houses work, they also grade. I'm sorry to use the word grade. They also look at profiles. They also look at people they want to feature on the platform. So they have
Yeah,
like their own but I say a guide, or is like who they want on their platform for branding purposes.
yeah,
So it's very important.
absolutely,
Investment is key.
absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, and like I love what you said about you can't earn if you haven't invested.
Mm.
Think about it as a financial decision, a purely financial decision.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, for any business leader, that's how you should approach PR services, media services, communication services.
Mm.
This is a purely financial decision. I mean, when you were going to start your business, you didn't get a customer while the idea was still in your head. You put in structure, you developed the product. All of that was a time for investment.
Yeah.
And then as you put it out there, people understood it and then decided to buy. That same process for public relations
Mm.
or even media engagement. You must invest first so that people see you, they know you. I mean, why would I just wake up one day and say, this is the person I want to talk to?
Mm.
There's no footprint online, there's no evidence of results
Exactly.
that you have delivered,
And
and then you want me to come and say, oh, but I should be on channels or TV, just like that.
so can I add
Yes,
to
those,
can I add to this
yeah,
conversation? One thing again is that, because for the divided into two, business PR and the personal PR. For a lot of media houses, the first thing is when they hear a name, if it's a business name, they go online to search. If they hear a
absolutely.
personal branding name, they go online to search. And the first thing that Google would pop on the first page would be a Wikipedia page or your social media handles. And PR is not just about the media part of it. It also includes the the pictures. That is why I like what Lady Bieber and Gazmado are doing for over
Right.
7 years. You know, and I'm actually glad that I was also part of one of the campaigns they had like 3 years ago for the boss lady shoots, because it just helps to like
Right.
redefine your work, your purpose. And so I'm trying to emphasize the fact that photo shoot is very important in all of
Important.
this. your branding is from the look, from the your profile. Your Wikipedia page is also very important. And these were the things I learned when I wanted to release my first book in 2018. Those were the things I worked on. I did a lot of PR branding. I did a whole lot of work. So if I'm being called on a popular breakfast show today, I've earned it over the years. I've invested over the years. I'm on this platform. I've earned it. Thank you so much for this platform once again. Over the years. So people need to understand that the investment, the ROI is not always immediate. You are building for the future. People get on Forbes platform, they get on TEDx. It's not because they know them in one day, but they have a track record of their works, or not just on Google, but also on their personal website, which is very important. Also on their social media pages, LinkedIn pages, very important. A track. We can track your work. We are not that you just popped up in the media and you're on Forbes cover. Hello, do we know
It
you?
doesn't work like that. It doesn't work. Absolutely, there must be a footprint.
There have to be.
And this that you mentioned now is one of the reasons I absolutely love LinkedIn. I mean, at some point, I used to call myself LinkedIn evangelist. I've sort of moved beyond that now, right? But I love LinkedIn so much. LinkedIn is like your personal Google, particularly for career professionals, senior executives who are looking to be found. If you're not necessarily an entertainment person where perhaps pictures, your work is really visual, right? If your work is a lot more cerebral, if you're in finance, in fact, industry really, right? Where you want people to know what you are thinking, what your opinion is about certain matters, regardless of the industry. I encourage you, please go on LinkedIn, or if you search, and I mean, you can also do this very quick exercise. I always mention it when I'm doing trainings for senior executives. Right now, or just after this live session, search your name online. If you're active on LinkedIn, if you don't have a Wikipedia page, the first platform that your name will show up on is LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Now, imagine if you just left that place. I call some people who have LinkedIn accounts but don't use it, I call them ghosts, right? They have lived before because they have an account, right? But now we cannot find them anywhere. We just know that they were here once, right? Make sure you are active on those platforms. And this is also one of the interesting things about the Experiencing PR conference. Because of this love and passion, really, to make sure that executives and leaders understand how important it is for them to be visible, for them to document their work in places where third parties can find them. We have a session at the Expressive PR conference called the Leaders Lounge. Right, the Leaders Lounge is for senior executive. It's open. It's going to be in the same hall as well, but it's really focused on executives and mid-level professionals who want to understand how powerful being visible is. We're bringing, for those who may know her, Dr. Gloria Dozier. That's also somebody I'm really excited
The visibility
about, because
queen.
I've been tracking this thing.
She's a visibility queen. Yeah.
Very, very senior female executives, right? And it's not just visibility for the sake of visibility. It is visibility built on a foundation of results. You are not just coming to do visibility when there is fluff behind it. No, this is visibility because there is results, and then you get that visibility to get even more opportunities. And that's so phenomenal. These people, I mean, Dr. Gloria Dozier, she's going to speak during the lounge. And then Gbenga Tutoye as well. He's an HR thought leader who has built businesses off of LinkedIn. I mean, these are people who started their business, who got incredible opportunities, board positions off of the work that they're doing on LinkedIn. That's the reason why you don't want to miss Experiencing PR. If you're not registered, click on the link in the chat, www.experiencingpr.com/. Thank you so much. / now. Hi, Faith. Thank you so much. Faith is the founder of Women in PR Ghana.
Hi, Faith.
Our sisters from the same mother.
Oh, nice.
Hi, Faith. Thank you so much for joining from Ghana.
Thank you for joining.
They also have their own conference every year.
Nice.
I think it's in June or July. Very interesting. Thank you, Josephine, for your comments. Yes, PR exists to serve other industries. And one of the things I tell myself, PR people are special people. You know, if you're a doctor now, yes, you're going to serve human beings. So obviously, if there's at least one person, doctors will find work. guess what? PR professionals, communication professionals are exactly as important as doctors. You know why? If there's at least two human beings on this earth, you need PR.
True.
I like to use this example. Allow me, I'm a Christian. In the beginning, God created, right, the heavens and then He called them, let us make man. That us was a stakeholders meeting. That's PR in action, right? He called the stakeholders meeting, let us do this.
In
And
our
then
own
they sat
image.
down to map out this is how it is going to be done. And that's why PR people are so important. But much more than that is for business leaders and office holders in countries like Nigeria, because we have speakers also coming from Ghana who will be speaking. We have the director of communication for MasterCard Africa, East and West Africa, who will also be speaking about their own experiences managing communications for global organizations. Finally, to say, as we close, I know I said 30 minutes. We are
I
almost
know,
like
right?
1 hour.
It's 1 hour already. I know.
Right. But finally,
Yeah.
so what the focus of this year's conference is about leveraging storytelling to transform businesses and leaders. Because again, we want to make sure that, there are many stories of successful African businesses.
Yeah.
But many times the people behind those successes are always invisible, right? The business is important. The people are also important, particularly for developing continents like Africa, where we need a lot of role models and examples. People who you can model your own values after, right?
Yeah.
It is important that we leverage these skills, and that's why we're having the conversation, Experiencing PR Conference. For a business leader who is watching from anywhere really in the world, or you're a young professional and you're wondering, oh, let my work speak for me. If you know my company, you don't need to know me. What storytelling strategies do you think a young professional, a business leader, a government worker, the head of a parastatal, what strategies do you think they should use to set themselves and their organizations or their businesses apart, particularly in a developing economy?
All right. Thank you so much, Tolu, for that question. I mean, we see these things a lot in different industries. When you get to meet the owner of a particular brand, oh my God, so you're the one behind this, and they're like, oh yes, I don't want to be in the picture. I don't want to be. I don't like camera. I'm camera shy. It's okay that you want the business to be out there. I think it's also a strategic move to let the business speak for itself. But what about the founders? What about the operational team? What about the people that are behind the scene? How can you tell or push them out there? It's true storytelling. Now, there's this particular account I follow on Instagram. His name is David. He's the CEO of Fastest Cake. When I watched his first video, he talked about one of the operational challenges he had building Fastest Cake. I think that video went viral, and that was the video that introduced him on Instagram. Nobody knew who was behind the Fastest Cake brand. And from the name Fastest Cake, I got to know Fastest Cake from brand ambassadors like Dorothy, Sasuke, the BBN ladies were the ones who put out the brand. I had no idea. It's just like saying the CEO of Cakes and Cream is out there, or the CEO of Tantalizers is out there. So nobody knew who David was, or the person behind Fastest Cake. But if you look at him right now, Fastest Cake is on its own as a brand, as a business. But David, also being the founder of Fastest Cake, has his own personal, branding online, even addressing business owners just like him, bringing out problems, giving solutions immediately. So you're watching a master class, but it is not a master class, but it's a real life or real time experience from a Nigerian business owner.
Because that distinction is important.
Very, very important, because there are different issues when it comes to businesses. So a Nigerian business owner sharing his own pain and experiences, from a staff stealing to this happening to operational system to opening another outlet to shutting down, so you as another business owner can relate to what David is saying, because you are in the same environment, because I'll use Nigeria as the example, or Lagos, you're in the same environment. So that way you can actually connect to another business owner to say, okay, I feel his pain, he feels my pain, he knows what I'm going through. So a lot of business owners, tend to stay behind the scene because they don't want to be seen, they don't want to be known. Some for personal reasons, while some because they don't have the grit or the guts to take their phone and say something to their audience. Now, have I experienced this? Yes. A lot of people will say, "Oh, Olori, you don't put yourself on your page," and I'm like, "I have a personal page, the Tosin Ajibade, on Instagram. The same on Twitter, and just like on LinkedIn, I'm on Olua Tosin Ajibade on LinkedIn. We have Oluspagel Media on LinkedIn. The business and the business and the owner, of course, you need to separate the two just for reasons known to us. But at the end of the day, my personal brand is not dead. My personal brand is out there. On my personal brand, I'm an author. I teach, I train, I host master classes. We have our conference, the media conference. I do a lot of things. The business, OSG Media, is doing its own thing too. But you don't see me on that page does not mean that I don't exist. I exist in other angles or other harms. I'm the kind of person that I don't know how to put myself in a box. Even when the situation or the environment tries to box you, I try to still get out. I still have another page called Elder Living with Tosin on Instagram, on YouTube, where I talk about elder lifestyle for women in their 30s. I'm in my 30s. I went through a lot with cyst and ovarian cyst and fibroids, did the operation in 2023. I created that platform in 2019 on my birthday. Yes, 2019 on my birthday, when I started talking about PCOS, hormonal imbalance. Then 2023, I had the surgery, and 2025. So like you can see different branches of me online. I don't need to be stuck in one place because you need to see my face. I can't. So we need to understand our strengths. We also need to understand ourselves. We also need to understand ourselves as business owners on how we can actually branch out and also ensure that the business is thriving. So be out there, you know, ensure that you put yourself out there, let people know you. A lot of businesses we see online, we don't know the owners. I didn't know my team, they were working on the International Women's Day compilation for 2025, and they sent me the list for approval. And I was asking, who is Atuba? I didn't know, I've never seen her face before. So when they sent me the picture, I was like, are you sure this is the person? Like, so but do we know the brand Atuba is a female women's wear in Nigeria? Do we know the brand Atuba? Yes, we do, but I do not know who the person behind it is. A typical example again is Zafaya event and Tifunke Bokno. You will see her dancing on her page. You see her dancing. You see her talking about it. You see her saying, "Oh, her slippers went off while she was dancing. Oh, our team member did this. Oh, this also happened. This was a challenge they faced." Because we are all built differently. You understand? So looking at that, Atifunke being out there, that is how she can push our business out there, or even push the name of the brand Sapphire, or talk about her clients and all. While some other people would rather sit down, create a pre-recorded video, talk about the talk about it, publish in real time, and they are good to go. While some, they are like with their phone and camera, they're everywhere. Yes, I'm live here I'm here. So we have different people online when it comes to business, and because of the way business is, it drains us, mentally, emotionally, physically. Even self care is always zero for most business owners, men and women. Self care is like zero. You have to remind yourself to go to the spa. You have to remind yourself to do your. So it's a whole lot of work. So I believe from this platform, experiencing PR, a lot of attendees who would be at the event on March 19 would learn how to ensure that they put themselves out there. Create a personal brand for yourself. I mean, the queen of visibility is going to be there. She's a doctor, Dr. Glory Glory Edozin. She'll be there, and she's the queen of visibility on LinkedIn. She has been doing this for years, for years. She created the brand 9 to 5 Chic. She has done a whole lot of things, and I mean, aside from Dr. Glory being there, there are a lot of experts that will be at the event. And you can actually walk up to these women, walk up to these people, ask them questions. You need to know how to break out from that cage or that shell. For me, I don't like being boxed. Honestly, it's like when I get back to Lagos, I'm boxed. When I'm outside of Lagos, I am not boxed. I don't know how it works for me, but I don't like to be boxed. But because a lot of us can be cramped with a whole lot of issues, suppression, oppression, a lot is happening. So that has drained us mentally. We aren't even thinking of even food as a business owner. I'm sure you sometimes you forgotten that you even had breakfast. You've not had breakfast, So it's a whole lot. It's a whole lot. But I'm just trying to put this in one circle to say that you being out there as a business owner is as important as your business being out there.
Yeah,
It is more or less like
absolutely.
the online platform is your trade fair spot. How do you sell to people to tell them you are live at this spot? Come and buy from me. Come and patronize our services.
Absolutely.
Come and patronize our product. So just keep seeing things, and because of the way we are and the way we think, we don't try to. Some of us are even shy to ask questions, honestly. So they don't want to know how this person did it, but they always remember to castigate the person on how they are doing it. So the person is doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
They say the person is doing it too much, but do you know what it
And they're
took?
not doing anything.
Yeah, do you know what it took that person to break out? And the person said, "I'm not
Mm.
turning back. I am going forward. I am going forward." So you cannot
Mm-hmm.
measured energies. You start with what you can.
Mm-hmm.
Build up. If the person says, "I'm going full force," let the person go full force. But what can you
Mm-hmm.
learn? Let us begin to see what we can learn. You don't see Moabudu talk all the time. You see that nice pictures, cool pictures. She's at the conference in Dubai. She's somewhere in the US. She's doing something. But you see a video from her talking about media and all. You will sit down and listen because you don't see her talk all the time.
Okay.
I don't know if you understand me. So we need
Yeah.
to see what works. You need to know what works for you. If you're the one to sit down and record and post, good, do it. If you're the one to be doing it live, do it. However you want to do it, just do it because you need to put your
Just do
face
it.
out there.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Tosin, for
Thank
your
you.
time. We spent more than we expected,
Yeah.
but it's been a very interesting conversation, and that is just a tip of what the Expressing PR conference on March 19th, that's just next Wednesday, will be like. Can I invite you, if you have not registered, so please register on www.experiencingpr.com /register dash now. It's going to be a phenomenal conversation. As I round up, let me mention that over the night, I came across a honestly sad video because I cried alongside the girl. Who was actually, in fact, I think we had even invited her as one of our mentees for the conference. Ade, she's the founder of Remote Worker also. And I came across a video where she was really crying. She had just started the business apparently full time or so, and she had rented a space. Bottom line, she is having issues with staffing, right? And people are just resigning left and right. And she was so frustrated and saying that she wished she didn't start this as a business. She was okay when she was freelancing. And you could literally see this young girl break down. One of the beauties of conferences like the Experiencing Peer conference is that you have an opportunity to interact with a community that really gets you. So it's not just for communications people only. At the conference, you will meet young people who are running their businesses, whether it's in PR, whether it's in events management, and you can literally walk up to people. One of the things I encourage young people who are attending conferences like this, pictures are great. It's great to take pictures for the gram. Focus more on conversations and connections
Yeah.
that you can take forward after that conference. I mean, she was sharing about how she's working with consultants, or she's putting SOPs together and SLAs. And I'm like, yes, it's great if you have all the money, you'll be able to pay consultants when you are 1 month into a new business. For some other persons who is literally just starting out and you are really bootstrapping, you literally only need to get templates. You need to be in a community of other business people who will share their own experiences with you. So that you know that what you're going through is not new to man or woman, my sister. All of us went through it.
Yeah.
I ate all the breakfast too for hiring until I told myself there needs to be an emotional detachment. Anybody that wants to should go. I'm not going to die and this business will not kill me.
Exactly.
Right? All went through that phase of being completely heartbroken by staff leaving, by you trusting people a lot. Anyway, point is, please plan to attend the conference. Yes, take pictures, but look out for people that you can build a meaningful connection with. When I go for conferences, I don't collect anybody's business card. What's your name on LinkedIn? My office is on LinkedIn, so that's why it's there. I connect immediately and I send you a DM so that you don't forget me. We
Thank
met here,
you.
by the time that business card, before you get home, you are wondering, oh, what should I tell the person? No,
Exactly.
on the spot, please post your name on LinkedIn. I'm sending you a DM now. You have already opened that channel
True.
of conversation. Please come to the conference next Wednesday, planning to make connections and meet people. The conference
Yeah.
is hybrid. It will be live in Lagos, 9:30 a.m. Registration opens, and we'll also be streaming online. Please make sure you register so you can get the registration link. You will get the full experience of the conference. Thank you so much. I look forward to personally welcoming you. Please, if you see me, say hi. If I'm too busy, please just send me a LinkedIn DM. My name is Tolu Comms. I always, because that's my office,
Yeah.
I always respond to DMs. Please reach out. Don't stay on your own. There are so many people willing to help you if only we can reach out and ask for help. Thank you so much, Tosin,
Thank you for
for your
having me.
support,
Thank you.
for
Thank you
doing
so
this with
much.
me.
Yes.
Yes. Have a good afternoon,
And
or
you too.
morning, or evening, everyone. Bye for
Bye.
now.
Yes. Yeah.
Bye, everyone. Bye bye.